Good morning, friends. So I'm sure I seem a lot more chipper in this video than the last one, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I've been tracking this whole trying to get pregnant journey, and part of that journey is some days are disappointing and you get upset. That's just how it is. But today I just wanted to do like a little bit of a check-in because obviously last time we spoke I mentioned we have officially been trying now for 6 months, and the stat is about 50% of people will get pregnant within the first 6 months of trying. We have not. So with that, I'm kind of going to be changing up my approach here going forward and trying some different things to see if that will help. So for reference, for the past 6 months, I've just been using an app on my phone to track my ovulation cycle and just trying to make sure we're active. So that's what we've been trying for. But that was about it. So in March, I mentioned my friend got me some ovulation tests. I just so happened to take one the last day of that window, and it was like peak fertility. So obviously we tried doing that. Still no luck for March. But going forward, that is something I'm going to be doing a lot more of. So, not sponsored, I'm using the Clear Blue ovulation test strips. So you can see on here, like if you're not ovulating, it has like an empty circle. If you are like in your broad ovulation window, it gives you a like flashing smiley face. And then if it's peak fertility, it'll be a solid smiley face. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Another thing I learned while I was doing all my research of things we could be doing differently is that certain lubricants that you use can actually keep you or inhibit you from getting pregnant. So switched that up this month. The one we were using, it didn't have any of the bad ingredients, but it also didn't have the good ones that you're supposed to look for. So I decided to try something new. This was one that was recommended to me by a couple people, and it is Pre-Seed. It's by First Response, so it's specifically for fertility. And so that's something new that we've been using. Supposedly it helps the sperm get to the egg. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. So I got a fertility tea by Pink Stork that is on the way, that my friend Natriana, actually a friend of hers, recommended it to me. So apparently she had great luck with it. I've heard a lot about fertility teas and like the health and natural pregnancy, childbirth stuff. So I'm gonna try fertility tea. I do tea pretty much every morning, so that should be pretty easy to work into my routine. And then that kind of goes along with diet. So I hadn't really mentioned this at all, but after getting off birth control, and getting married, I did put on like 20 pounds. So the last month and a half or two, I have been doing the Weight Watchers program, which actually really enjoyed because it's just an app. You track what you eat, you track your activity, whatever. But in doing more research for this month, I found that a low calorie or calorie restrictive diet is not good when you're trying to get pregnant. So even though I'm down 7 pounds, which was really exciting, I'm gonna have to stop doing that. So no more dieting. I'm now going to be doing the fertility diet, which the name is misleading. It's not necessarily a diet. There's just certain foods that are really good for like cleaning out and the health of your reproductive system, which of course helps you to be more susceptible to get pregnant. So let me see if I can pull up the list. Some of these I found on Pinterest, some I found through like kind of naturopath type people. Okay, so the fertility diet. So proteins to focus on: eggs, nuts and seeds, and chicken. We already eat a lot of chicken. I had been eating a lot of eggs even on Weight Watchers, so I think I'll continue that. Lots of fruit, berries, bananas, citrus fruits, and pineapple. Love those. got my super fruity smoothie going right now. Veggies, lots of leafy greens, Brussels sprouts, carrots, tomatoes, and asparagus. Again, we eat a lot of those already, so just keeping that up. Healthy fats, so this is a different one. So avocado, which I love avocado, but when you're on Weight Watchers or like any kind of calorie counting, avocados are a lot of calories. So, or a lot of points, whatever you want to call it. So I think I'm going to start doing avocado and eggs, maybe like on toast for breakfast, which is way more carbs and fats than I've been doing, but just it's healthy, natural foods that are kind of part of this plan. So avocados are good. Greek yogurt is good, so I have some of that in my smoothie this morning. And then the part that is I'm gonna have to kind of retrain my brain on is with fats and dairy and things like that. The fertility diet is full fat, not low fat. And I've definitely turned into one of those people when I'm like, Jordan asked me to pick up sour cream or whatever, no matter what it is, I'm always reaching for the low fat option because I think like, oh, we won't be able to even tell the difference in taste, but it'll be so much better for us. So I can't speak to the science behind it, but they say for the fertility diet, you want full fats in those sort of things. So that'll be interesting, going to full fat instead of low fat. Other things, oats, dark chocolate, and garlic. So those are all items that I've found that are supposed to be really good for your fertility that I'm going to try working into my diet a little bit more. Along with the fertility diet, I've been doing it for a while now, absolutely love it. And it's kind of interesting because while it is a lot of leafy greens and healthy things that you would eat on a normal diet, there's a lot more options that I enjoy. So honestly, I think it's the easiest diet, I'll put it in quotes because it doesn't feel like a diet, that I've ever done. So if you're interested in knowing what a fertility diet looks like, I'm contemplating doing like a what I eat in a day fertility diet video. If you're interested in that, please comment down below and let me know. Another thing that I did this month, if you're watching this video, you've probably watched my previous videos about my journey, but I'm not someone who just has been super healthy and then started trying for a baby and it hasn't happened yet. I had a background of some different issues prior to even getting off of birth control, with a Rathke cyst on my pituitary gland in my brain, and that caused elevated prolactin levels, which was a whole thing. So watch that video if you want to see it from the beginning. But because of that, it took them about 9 months after I got off birth control to attempt to get my body functioning the way it should, and that took some medications that I am still on, which are not supposed to be interfering with getting pregnant, but I'm not a clean and easy case, I guess I would say. So because of that, oftentimes they say try for a full year before, going back to your healthcare provider with your concerns, whatever. Something I've heard from family members and other people that have had difficulty conceiving, they're like, don't wait for a year. If you have any reason to think that it could be something more than just it hasn't happened, be your own advocate. So that's something I've taken to heart. So my OBGYN books 6 weeks out. So when I got my negative pregnancy test and my period this month, I decided to go ahead and reach out to my OBGYN and scheduled an appointment for May. So May will put me at, I think, 7 or 8 months of trying. And so I feel good about going in with that kind of background info. She knows all about the issues I was going through last year after getting off birth control, not having a period, all of those things. So she's well versed in what's been going on with me. So I just scheduled a check-in with her so we can kind of look at everything, reevaluate, make sure that there's nothing wrong with me, that the medication that they have me on is not interfering with anything, and just, kind of check in, reevaluate. So another thing I want to ask my doctor, this kind of goes back to just being your own advocate. So again, I am doing the fertility diet, and in doing that research, I learned more about PCOS. So PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is an acronym I had heard but never really thought twice about until through searching through the fertility diet, I found someone's page that talks about their journey with PCOS and how they eventually use the fertility diet to get pregnant. Well, all of her symptoms for PCOS are the same kind of symptoms that I had when I got off birth control. So it was things like weight gain and not having a period for long periods of time and things like that. And so as I was reading her story, I was like, this sounds all too familiar. But so I went back through all my paperwork with my endocrinologist just to see if maybe we talked about it and ruled it out, but I didn't remember. And there was nothing about PCOS on my file, so it's definitely not anything he had looked into. Now, on the other side of things, generally how they catch PCOS is on a uterine ultrasound. So I had that done in August when they were checking to make sure that my ovaries were not enlarged. And so I kind of go back and forth. Like if I had PCOS, wouldn't they have caught it when they did that ultrasound? But maybe if they weren't looking for that, they wouldn't have noticed it. I don't know. I don't do ultrasound. I don't know how that all works. So that's another thing I'm going to be talking to my OBGYN about. Maybe for some reasons I don't know, they already ruled that out. Or what I'm hoping is not the case, maybe I could have it and it's something they never thought to check. So either way, just for peace of mind and to make sure we're not trying in vain, I am going to be asking my doctor about that when I see her next month as well. And that will give us all summer to kind of try whatever my OBGYN sees fit going forward. And then if by some terrible chance it doesn't happen by the end of summer, that's when we would be at our 1-year mark and we could reach out to a fertility specialist. We're here in Salt Lake City, so there actually is a great fertility center at University of Utah, I have heard. So that is good. I also know it's very expensive and we're trying to buy a house this summer. So really hoping we're able to go about it a more natural way and don't have to take it to that level. But I just kind of wanted to do a check-in at the 6-month window and let you know how things are going, what the plan is moving forward, and where to go from here. As it's taken me longer, I've noticed personally, I even asked on my Instagram channel for people to let me know, did it take you more or less than 6 months? And because I felt like the people around me had no trouble getting pregnant. Like literally, I can think on the top of my head 5 people that it happened to them their first month, or they weren't even trying. And so just the circle of people I have around me didn't really struggle with getting pregnant. And so that felt kind of alienating. But then I went to YouTube, I searched a little bit more and saw like, oh, okay, some other people, it does take them a while. You know, some people have to do IUI, IVF, whatever. And so I just became more inspired to share what I was going through so that if there's anyone else out there who they're struggling to get pregnant, but everyone around them seems like they can get pregnant at the drop of a hat, I wanted to be able to share our journey with them to show that they're not alone, and it just takes a little longer for some of us. So that's a longer update than I planned to do, but this is what's going on 6 months post trying. We're now 16 months after I got off birth control, 6 months since we were cleared to start trying because of all the issues I had getting off birth control. So even though 6 months doesn't seem that long, I got off birth control December 2019. It is now April 2021. So for me, it feels like a very, very long journey. But yeah, just wanted to give you an update what we're trying now going forward. Hopefully the next video will be next month, me taking a pregnancy test and it's positive. That's what we're putting out into the world. We're staying positive. If not, I'll take you to my OBGYN appointment, fill you in on all of that, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.